What's going on, guys? It's Dave with another Discord meeting. These are getting extremely popular, but I can see we're a little thin today in the Discord, which is A-okay, because that's more one-on-ones with you guys. Now, I want you to know if you're watching this at a later date, you're more than welcome to go down to that description right down there, down below. Smash that description. It'll bring down a Dropbox. You can click my LinkedIn. You can get our Discord. You can get my Facebook. You can get our Facebook family group that the greatest moderator alive, Dan has started for us. You can get this beautiful TraderView platform. That's my affiliate link. Yes, sirree, Bob. And that is absolutely free. Everything that we bring to you is absolutely free, so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, we got B. Stewie. We got Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive. We got Jimmy. Nalani. Man, I'm telling you, Nalani, I don't know why I get so tripped up saving your name. Night Owl, or Kilgore, is like we like to call him. Bob's in the building. Yosef, what's going on, guys? It's good to see you. We got some coffee. Coffee on the mount. Awesome Art's here. Awesome Art just joined up. I just unmuted you, Awesome Art. Did you get that damn mic fixed? Come on, girl. Hey, we can hear you. What's going on? I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes. What's going on?
Oh, really? That's great.
Hey.
I don't know what's up with the mic.
You know what I was thinking the
It's
other day?
automatic.
I was thinking maybe you had your laptop or your PC paired to like something at home, like it's paired to something at home, because every once in a while I could hear like a little bit of a blurb or a sound coming from it. So maybe it's unpaired.
Maybe.
I'm thinking that's the only thing I could think of. But either way, I'm glad we can hear your beautiful, beautiful voice. Welcome. I'm glad you could make it tonight. So tonight, guys, thank you for being here. All right, so listen, guys. I was going on a little rant, and I'm sorry you guys got to hear it again, B. Stewie and Dan Bob. But I got to talk to you guys. I've been talking about this since 2022. Okay. There was the October lows of 2022. I could take you all the way back there. We'll go all the way back. Let me talk about this. Let me chat. All right, here's the October lows of 2022, all the way down here. All right, let me just zoom in. Let me show you guys. We're gonna have a little rant. Now, we made this bottom here in the October lows of 2022. Did I know that these were the lows? No, I had no effing clue that those were the lows. But when we started making new higher lows, and new higher lows and new higher lows in March, okay? Around the time of March is when I started saying, right around here, March, April, there we go. Right around here when we made these new higher lows, I started telling everybody in my YouTube, you can literally go all the way back. That's what's great about this. I can't bullshit my way through this. This is when I started being very positive in the market, and I started saying new lower highs in the S&P 500. We're above a 200-day moving average. We're getting above all these 10 and 21 and these 50-day moving averages. And I started to become more bullish, and everybody who kept saying, no, the bear market's not over. We're going to continue to go lower. We ripped higher. And that is where I started using this 200-day moving average. Well, then once we made these new lower lows and we broke through the 21-day moving average up here, we were very careful and we pulled back down. Okay, when we broke through the 200-day moving average, I was skeptical myself. But once we broke back up through and we made new higher highs, again, above a 10 and 21-day moving average, I was bullish. And then look, if we just follow that 10 and 21-day moving average, look at this. We just follow it. As long as it stays above that, what is there to worry about? Nothing, except for not making enough money, okay? Then fast forward all the way to here. When we break down below that 21-day moving average, this was the only time that you guys ever heard me say, be careful, watch your ass, using risk management. We should all be A-okay here. We break down below that. We held on. We didn't hold on. We were hands off. I did take some shorts here, okay? Some shorts, made a little bit of money on the pullback. Then we bounced off the $500 area, and then we came right back down and bounced off of it one more time, and we were bullish here before we even got back up above all these things because we won an early take. Then we got above the 10 and 21-day moving average, And this was the only day that I was nervous, right? And even then, we grabbed some shares and we held on for this ride and we played it, okay? Now we're back up here in the S&P 500 above a 10 and 21 day moving average. There is no reason for us not to be risk on. I have been risk on. I've been preaching risk on. There is no reason for us to be risk off. And why do I sound so excited about it? Well, because I am in the Twitter space, or X. I am in the Facebook groups. I am in all the different things. I do a ton of reading. There's a ton of analysts out there. There's a ton of people that will be talking your ear off saying, we are bearish, or we'll call them breath bears. Oh, well, the breath is horrible. We're only being taken up by NVIDIA and Microsoft, or Apple, and whatever hot stock is dragging us up. Apple is the only thing bringing the market higher. It doesn't matter what is said. There is always somebody out there that's saying, well, we're only bullish because of this stock and the breadth. And you guys have been with me long enough to know I always say, yes, but the S&P is above the 10 and 21 day moving average. Imagine with me if the breadth starts to rise with us. I've been saying that from the start. And if the breadth does rise with us, we are going to have some huge follow through in this market, okay? Now, some people like to point out these distribution days. Let's look back at our market as we keep pushing higher. Look at the biggest, what people would consider a distribution day, right? Look at this, okay? This distribution day, or this big volume of red, came right back down and ripped right back up. Look at this volume. We pulled down to the 21 day moving average, ripped right back up. Do you see any volume to the positive side that's any higher than this negative volume? No, I don't. So what is this? This is the same thing that we've been seeing in the bull markets. These negative pullbacks here, these negative pullbacks are followed through with bull markets, okay? And so I want to make sure this gets in everybody's head, because you guys show up to these meetings, okay? Every single day, most of you show up to these meetings. And I want to empower you with canceling the noise and listening to what I have to say about being positive pays. I constantly am saying that. You guys have been with me long enough. Being positive pays, okay? I don't care if you put a blindfold on and you didn't even look at a chart. If you looked at just this chart and I had to say, hey, I want you to choose green or red. If you're right, then you make money. Pick a color. And you've seen here, well, green usually is always up. You know, green is usually right. That's going to be the direction. Green is going to be up. Red is going to be down. Where do you think we're headed tomorrow? Where do you think we're headed next week, next month, next year? Where do you think the market will be? Higher or lower than where we're at right now? If you picked green, you are going to be right way more than you are going to be wrong. That's why I always say it pays to be positive. Now, the market might not be green tomorrow. It might not be green next week. It might not be green next year. But within the next 3 years, I promise you it's going to be green, right? According to this chart, you know, your average bear market is only 3 months, as to where your average bull market is 5.6 years. Okay, so that just tells you the difference there. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that it always pays to be positive. And I want you guys to cancel out the noise from time to time, and I want you to start being more positive. Okay, when we do get pullbacks, you heard Covey say it, you've heard me say it. When we do get pullbacks in the market, we are looking for the relatively strong stocks in the market that are holding up the best compared to the market that's pulling back. Because then when the market does eventually turn around, because it always does, we can grab a hold of those longs and let those ride out, okay? So I don't know if you guys were with me this morning. I wish we could just have a vote here. I hope everybody was with me this morning. We listened to old Papa Powell's speech. If you got time tonight, you can rewatch it. It's obviously been recorded. And you know, I really hope you guys do yourself a service and actually listen to what's going on there. But I will give you the cliff notes right now. He was overwhelmingly positive. Everything he said seemed to be positive. The only thing he sounded negative is when that beautiful questionnaire of his kept asking him the same damn political questions that he kept saying, we don't get into politics. He constantly just said, we don't get into politics. I cannot answer that. I do not let it influence my decisions. And he says all the data is coming out positive. Everything is looking exactly how it should be, and I have faith. I have faith in him. I really do. So far, everything that he has said until the data came in to change his mind, just like science, it's all right until science proves it different, but it's always there. It's always ready to change, and that's exactly how his opinions are. He's willing to make a stand, and that might not be popular opinion to agree with a Fed chair, a Fed chairman, or anything like that. But that's where I'm at. I really like his stance. I really like the way he handles himself, and I really like the way he doesn't just come out randomly and say, oh, you know what, this is what I think I'm going to do. No, he sticks to the agenda. All right. So anyway, I think I've ranted long enough, guys. Positive news. Everything looks good. This is the first day since July 17th? No, June 17th. Did we land up on a green positive day this high, this hard? And even in the pre-market, we actually came up even a little higher. So the S&P 500 is looking really, really good. The QQQs are also looking really good right there at those all-time highs and closed at those all-time highs. The IWM, if we take a little peeky gander, you can see we are holding up. We are looking good. We're still kind of in this spaghetti mess, but we are still above this rising, ascending trend line and this descending trend line. Like I said, guys, it looks like we're getting tighter, like we're getting ready to head higher very, very soon. If we look at the RSP, which is the breadth in the market, we're still holding this trend line to the north side. So that's a very, very good sign as well. We're still below those moving averages, but again, I don't give a shit. As long as we're above a 10 and 21 day moving average, things are looking good in the overall market. Here's another one, QQQE or QQE. Let's see what it is, QQQE. So this is the equally weighted QQQ. Okay, we can start looking at this more if you guys want to. But look at this, we're right at an area of breakout. Why? Well, let me just draw it out for you. Here's our new higher lows, new higher low, new higher low, and look at this. If I just draw this out, you can see we're just kind of bouncing right off of this, and now we're getting really tight. And where is that top? You see where it ended is almost showing you where the line is. Right here, guys. Look at this. This is a high tight flag. This is exactly what you want to see in a bullish pattern. Now, of course, I could be wrong. This thing could pull right back down. But even with NVIDIA, let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA pulling back, okay? Where is it landing? Well, it's landing right on support of its anchored VWAP from its earnings. This is another really good sign. But even though NVIDIA is pulling back and people are talking a whole lot of shit about it, if you look at the QQQE, you can see that it is holding out without NVIDIA. That means there's breadth in the overall market. There's breadth in the semiconductors. There's breadth in the data processors. There's breadth in cybersecurity. We're starting to see a lot more breadth in the technology sector. Okay, so let's take a look at the VIX Volatility Index. Of course, now look, where are we at? Well, we're headed lower. There's less fear in the overall market. I know one thing Covey likes to use to take a little peeky gander at, I can't remember, I think it's in this list here. Yes, so this is the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average. Right now, we came up a little bit higher. We're still just below the overall average of stocks being above their 50-day moving average, but it's still holding out. It's still looking positive. We are kind of on a discerning downtrend in this area. But again, it doesn't matter how much bullshit we bring into this. If we look at the S&P 500, we are above a rising 10 and 21 day moving average, and the 10-day moving average is now sloping up to the north side. This is the exponential moving average, and you can see it's curling back up to the north side, closing close or near those new all-time highs. Do we have any questions on that, guys? Do we have any questions? And if you have any opposing ideas, I want to hear it, because I have a bias, and that is always going to be to the north side. But if you have something or discerning factor that says, no, this is what I think we're bearish because of this, or I disagree with you for these reasons, I want to know, because maybe I'm missing out on something. But I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this for a while now. I do my homework. I read a lot. I read a lot, and most of the people that I'm reading are all the greatest traders that are out there, okay? So if you have something that I'm missing, I want to hear it. Okay, fine. Nobody wants to talk to me. I see how it is. No, I mean, I think, you know, when I take these polls, guys, during our live chats or sometimes, you know, in our Discords and stuff, you guys are we're all pretty much on the same page. But I said I was going to do a little rant this morning, and I did. It pays to be positive, guys. I think it's very important to stay positive, and I think it's really important for you to stay positive too, not just in the market, but in your own life. I think it's really important. Predator?
Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's up, Awesome Art?
Yeah, so I have like a question about NVIDIA. If you
Sure.
are okay, I can ask.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, so NVIDIA, my average price is around 101. So I'm
Nice.
just debating, shall I sell it or shall I just hold it?
Sure. So let me mark out your price here. 101. So you took it
Yeah,
right after the earnings gap up. I actually had it at
yeah.
this same exact price. I'll tell you when I sold, okay? I can't tell you what to do, but I'll give you an idea of what I did, okay? We
Mm-hmm.
are momentum traders in this Discord. What you are, you are still figuring it out, okay? And I do hope you
Yes.
come to our side. I hope that you enjoy being a momentum trader like we are, because we love you. We love you being here. We think you're awesome, and you have awesome art apparently too. So we hope that you're a momentum trader as well. Now, I actually took it on an earnings gap up play. I played the 1 minute opening range break, and I made a ton of money on this. I think, well, when I say a ton, that's relative, but I made about 30% on this trade. Let's put it that way. And when this thing pushed up higher, I exited quite a few of my shares just above this at like 2 or 4R. And then I didn't exit my last 1/8 of this because I exited some here and some here and some here. But I exited the last of my shares after it closed below that 10-day moving average. Okay, now I wouldn't mind playing this again if it were to set up, and it looks like it's starting to ride this 21-day moving average. So if we mark this out and let's do one of these like this, okay? And let's say it gets above this area. I'll just set an alert, okay? And let's say it gets above this area and it happens on volume, because as you can see, we have volume price contraction down here, or the VCP, volume contraction price. Am I saying that right? Volume price contraction. The volume's selling off, right? We're getting less volume, meaning there's less people selling here, okay? We also have support
Okay.
at this anchored VWAP here. So if you don't know where you're supposed to sell, I would choose a moving average personally, or a low personally, okay? But I cannot tell you where to buy or where to sell. What I can tell you is I bought pretty much at the same price, but when we closed below the 10-day moving average, I exited the position, not because I don't think it's going to go higher, but because the momentum is gone and now I need to wait. I don't know what's going to happen here. I have no flippin' clue. And if you have somebody telling you that they do know, you're listening to the wrong person, because nobody truly knows. That's why we have to have a process, okay? And so my process tells me when I get into a trade, I need to take some out at 2, 3, 4, 5R. I need to take some of that out and let the rest ride until it closes below my choice of a moving average, okay? When I have played NVIDIA much before, I would use that 10-day moving average because it gets extended and it holds above that 10-day. Okay, and then when it closes below the 10-day, I exit for a big gain. And look, it did it again on earnings. Boom. You hold on to it until it closes below the 10-day and you exit. Then we have this long period of time at this, this $96 area or $960 area at the time. And then it breaks up higher. And then I played it again. I played an earnings gap up or an episodic pivot on a 1 minute opening range break, and I played it until it broke below the 10-day moving average. And I actually used, so I could get more, NVDL which was a leveraged ETF. And you can see right here, this is all of my charting, guys. Right here, you can see here is a base.
Yeah, I have NVDA too.
Here's the breakout, and then this is all of my lines where I played. So I get in. So this is the earnings gap up right here. You can see I get in. Now this is the 1 hour, but I played it on the either 1 minute or 5 minute range break. And I entered this trade here. I exited a portion of my trades here. When it moved up higher, I exited a portion of my trades here, a portion here, and then I held on to 1/8, which I'm kicking myself in the ass to this day about, because I should have held 50% of my shares, because that is my rules. And then it moved up much, much higher, and then it moved up much, much higher, and then it moved up much higher until it breaks that 10-day moving average, and I exited out of the rest. So you can see when I zoom out and I zoom in on this daily, that's the trade. Here's the base breakout. It broke out of that base, so I played an episodic pivot on an opening range breakout, and I caught it right at that area. And look at that. That looks absolutely beautiful. Continuing higher. So when you ask the very specific question of you don't know whether you should or you shouldn't sell, I don't know whether you should or shouldn't sell either. I don't know what your process is, but I know that I have already sold mine and I'm waiting for a re-entry. So if you're still holding and you believe the stock is to continue higher, go for it. Hold on to it. But you need to have an area where you are definitively wrong and you need to take your profits. That's my personal opinion. But if you might be a position trader. You might want to hold on to this for the rest of your life. I don't know. That's your game.
Yeah,
plan.
I do that a lot.
Sure.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
And that's a good thing. Yeah, I understood now what to sell for. Like, yeah, I think I will have to think over it and come up with a plan.
Absolutely. You should definitely come up with a plan. And you know what you should do? Awesome, is you should put it in the chat. This is where I'm at. This is where I've taken profit already. And if you haven't, what the hell are you doing? And this is where my stop loss is. And this is my plan on NVIDIA. And then we'll question you about it to help you solidify what you've said to us. So that way, as a team, we can hold you to it. Okay? That's what we're here for.
I'm kind of emotionally involved in this. I'm kind of emotionally involved in this talk, but I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be emotionally involved. You need to be a robot. You need to write out a program for yourself so that way you follow the rules without emotion. Because if you wake up tomorrow and it gaps up, let's say to 136, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm way back up, and then you sell right away, and that's not part of your game plan. Your game plan is to sell when it breaks below a moving average. Watch it go up to 140, 200, 300, 700. I don't know, okay? But if you trade on emotion, you are going to regret it in the future. I can guarantee you most of my trades, just like MRUS, we were talking about MRUS, when I woke up, look at this gap down. When I woke up, it gapped all the way down here to $50 when my stop loss was actually 55. So I was down like $800 when I woke up. That sucks. That's like 2.5% of my account on one trade. But I didn't just sell out immediately in the pre-market by emotion. No, I let this thing play out. I waited till market open. I used the low of day, and as it did a rubber band back, I started exiting some of the position as it came back up and recovered some of those losses. Now, I'm not just buying and holding just because. I'm buying and holding because my maximum loss could have been $800. But I know the rubber band effect. So right in the market open, I could have stopped out down here now. Instead of my stop out being here, my stop out's down here. And then the rubber band effect ripped this thing back up, and I started exiting slowly as it came up. Okay? So I didn't want to play with emotion. And if I did, I would have taken a much bigger loss than what was intended. So we don't trade with emotion. So you know what? I'm really happy you brought that up. I really am. So we went over the state of the market. We went over NVIDIA and how we could expect to trade something like that. Do we have any other questions, guys? Anything at all? I don't care what it is. Tonight we are here.
Hey, Dave.
What up, Dow?
I just got a comment. I just wanted to say to Nalani or anybody else in this Discord, If you haven't already, man, really, if you watch trend and base breakouts in your videos, it explains it very well.
Yeah, absolutely. We do go over it quite a bit, guys. And I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you say you'll get to it, or I only watched a little bit of it. Those are there so you can play those over and over and over again. If you're working, or if you're, just doing something like in the yard, and you can put your headset on, you're going to hear the same thing over and over and over again, and it might be repetition, right? And there's a reason for that, because trading is repetition. You don't go to the gym and do something different every time you go there. No, you have this day, and this day, and then you have repetition. Then you get bigger, you get stronger, you get faster, you get healthier. That's the same thing with your trading. If you do the same thing over and over and over again, you figure out what's working and what's not working, and then you tweak it, just like in the gym, or just like in your diet, or just like in whatever you do. That is the same thing with trading. Okay, so I have a very specific criteria that I didn't just reinvent. I didn't just make all this up. Okay, I ripped it from another great trader and multiple other great traders, and I figured out what works for me. Okay, and you can do the exact same thing. You steal my ideas that I've stole from other people, because we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not some genius. I'm not smart enough to come up with all this on my own. Okay, I didn't just start the market and go, I'll just figure this all out on my own. No, I used other people, just like you guys can use my same strategies that I've used from other people, and you can tweak them to see what works for you. Okay? Some people aren't even meant to be traders. Some people are meant to be long-term investors, so you can buy, hold, and just flip and forget about it. But me, I'm a greedy bastard who wants to retire early, and I am more than willing to stare at this market, to regurgitate the information that I've figured out, and be positive when we're above a rising 10 and 21 day moving average, find those base and trend breakouts, and make more money than the S&P 500 could ever deliver me. Do we have any more questions? Anything whatsoever?
I have a comment.
Let's hear it, baby.
I want to say to everyone that they don't have to actually sit there and believe you that they need to be positive. You have already shared with us the tools where we can, on our own, see the positivity in the market. For example, if you would be so kind as to show your Thinkorswim.
Yep.
On the left side of your screen, I'm sure, I don't know what watch list you have there, but I'm sure that you might have a watch list that has the markets. I call it. I've created one, and I've called it the market weather report.
Sure.
And it's the dollar, the IWM, the QQQ, the QQQE, the RSP, SPY, and the VIX. For the most part, I'm not telling everyone else to do this. Just for me, for the most part, I've only ever really had to look at three of them: the RSP, the SPY, and the dollar. And that's only just because of the little bit of trading that I've been doing. You guys may need to look at them all, but if you go back, Dave, to the SPY and show them what the SPY looks like and how it's kind of going into a positive pattern. Now, you might not like this comment, Dave, but bear with me. If you flip over to the RSP, you notice that RSP is gate, and it's not exactly in a channel, but if you look at where it's getting tight, it's tight between 162 and 168. It's just a matter of a couple days, maybe about 2 weeks, till this breaks out past 168. And if it breaks out there, they're both going to be positive.
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
Now, I guess the point that I'm trying to make, and I'm trying to back Dave up on, is just that, we do want to be positive, but you don't have to take anyone's word here for it. You can look at what we're looking at the same way that we are. So you can see it for yourself. That will give you the conviction to move forward into a trade that you might otherwise think, oh, you know what, this is not for me. It might actually be the one that you need to look at, because sometimes doubt is exactly what you need during this process. Dave, I got a surprise for you.
That's a good point. Let's hear it.
I don't know if you'll like the surprise, meaning I don't know if you really need it. You may want to write it down, and you may want to create a quick market a quick watch list, so I can give you these three tickers.
I got a pen and paper right here.
Okay, $sign in the front of all of them. Okay. $sign SPX A100R. The next one is A200R. The last one is A50R. This is the percent above those moving averages.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's on Thinkorswim.
Okay.
That's on Thinkorswim. You know how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like these. Let's see.
Dollar sign. Dollar sign.
Oh,
Dollar
I
sign.
forgot I gotta do dollar sign. I'm sorry. All right, let me
Yeah.
go.
Well, I don't know why these particular tickers you have to do that with, but
Yeah, I think it's because it's not Forex, but this is futures. Futures. This is a futures type ticker, and I think you gotta put dollar signs. Just like Dixie, the DXY is a futures. You gotta put a
Yeah.
dollar sign in front of it. I could be wrong.
is that
I could
why?
be wrong.
I've always wondered
think
about that. I
so.
never did investigate that.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is
Those are three.
the ones above the 100-day moving average. I like that. And then they use
Yeah, and the last price is the percent. There is no bid or ask for the most part, but
and then the 50-50 is what is above and what is below, right?
0R. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, to answer your, I thought you were asking me about the other ticker. I'm sorry. Yeah,
But
you're right.
0.50 is the halfway marker, right?
Yeah.
It's like if it's above 5, then that's the percentage of. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
I get it. I get it now. But yeah, okay, cool.
It's
Good to have. Another thing too, just to kind of like solidify what Predator was saying too, like you can go back and switch your S&P 500. I like to do it on our charting platform, obviously, but you can switch this to the monthly, and you can look all the way back here, guys. Like you can go all the way back to 93 on this, 1993, and you can see we're on an uptrend, right? This is the monthly. You know, we're on a monthly uptrend. Or it might look a little cleaner on this, the S&P 500 on the monthly. This goes back to 93, and you can just see it's just very clean. You know, we had a period of time from 97 to 2009 where we were just kind of trading sideways here. But you can see if you would have gotten out, you know, below that 21-day moving average on the monthly as well. Plus, if we go back and look at the 21-day, it was below a 21-day. You know, we just look at it on a shorter time frame. But if you would have just followed the technical patterns, you wouldn't have invested in all this, right? You would have seen the new higher lows, invested in all this. But yeah, no, you guys can go back and you guys can look. You don't have to take anybody's word for it. You can do your own homework. And that's the beautiful thing about these charting platforms is you can do all your own homework. Okay? So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate that. All right, so what else we got here, guys? So I went on my rant. We talked about the S&P 500. We talked about the IWM, the QQQs, the equally weighted, both the RSP and the QQQs. It's a little bit of news here. So in the economic calendar, I want you guys to be aware that 4th of July, there is not going to be anything going on 4th of July. And the 3rd of July, the market is only open until, is it 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? 1 p.m. The market is only open till 1 p.m. tomorrow. So it's only a half a trading day tomorrow. So keep that in mind when you guys are trading. The trading will stop, and most likely you won't see a lot of volatility in the market. It generally does not show a lot of volatility. We do have on Wednesday though, let's see. We have the non-farm payroll at 8:15. We have the initial jobless claims at 8:30. And we have at 9:45 the PMI. So we have quite a bit. And then, of course, the Fed meetings come out at 1400, but will be closed by the time those come out. So keep in mind that non-farm employment change comes out at 8:15, 8:30 initial jobless claims, 9:45 is PMI. Those can all be very volatile. And if we continue to get exactly what we have been getting, we'll see a positive expectancy in the overall market. So I would like to see that. Maybe we'll see all this in the pre-market, and then we won't see much after it. But, you know, the PMI at 9:45 and the initial jobless claims right at 8:30. We might see a little bit of volatility. But remember, it's probably going to die off pretty quick after that. Don't quote me on that, but just from what I'm seeing over the years, usually when we have a half day in the market, there's not a lot going on. Now, I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope something crazy happens, of course, because I'm going to be sitting here until roughly around that time. I'll probably kick out around noon. But yeah, just keep that in mind, guys.
If you also want to know something interesting, usually the first trading day after July 4th is not a good trading day.
No, yeah.
Not that it's bad.
It's just
No,
not
if you look
volatile.
at your charts, you'll see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
always
it's
kind of
not
like a
great.
flat day.
Yeah, because people are still coming back from vacation. You don't have the institutional ownership in there buying up and stuff. Yeah. And it's also a Friday, which is usually slow as well. Now, on Friday, we have non-farm payroll and unemployment rates coming out. So that is our economic calendar. Of course, we're going to go over all of this again on Sunday. You guys know Sunday is our big meeting. We usually get a big turnout. We'll do that live for you. Now, I want to go over really quick the trades that I took today. I want to show you, I stopped out on a few. I didn't post my P&L today, but I was down about $100. So chump change, that's like 0.25% of my account. I just want to look up on my phone the two that I stopped out on today. 0.34% is what I was down in total at $109. I just like being very transparent with you guys. I have been since I started this Discord. So just, you know, you got to understand with a win rate of 30%, we're going to have more down days than we do, but they're always small. And then our big days, you know, just like, what was it, 3 days ago, I was up over $3,000, you know, so these $100 losses that I've been having consecutively the past 3 trading days, it's really nothing. It's me trying to get into the market. And I think I got a hold of some good ones, which is great news, so I can let them play out. But I want to make sure we go over these. Why? Because you're a loser unless you're learning. So I got into FLYE. Now, I only took a very small share size of this because when we took this trade, there wasn't a lot of volume coming into this. And on top of that, it was very spready. So I got in a little bit. And when I got it in down here because I was trying to buy the bid. I wasn't trying to play buy market or anything like that, because if I would have gotten it way up here at 624 where they were trying to bid it out at, okay? So I waited for it to come down. I got in and I immediately stopped out right at these lows, okay? So when, because I took it on the 5-minute time frame. So you can see here, it came up, it came down, it got me in, and then it swept down here, stopped me out, and then continued to trade sideways. Now, there was not a ton of volume on this, so I'm okay with taking the very, very small loss on this of $58. That's A-okay with me. We're expecting this to tighten back up again and get some volatility and maybe break out higher. So we're still looking to play this thing. I'm still expecting this thing to really turn out. So this was one of my losses today. I took OLLI. Now I did take full share size in OLLI. I really like this, and we did get volume coming in on this right here. If we zoom in, you guys can see the volume started to come in on this. So I actually ended up taking it right here. I think my average price was like around 100. Or yeah, right around 100 or 9.99 or something like that. But I seen it break that $100 area, so I got into this trade here. And of course, I used this low of day, and it came right back down and stopped me out. And that's what happens, guys. You're not always going to catch every breakout. Now, I wouldn't mind this thing getting tighter, having another inside day here, or breaking out, you know, either tomorrow, but crossing my fingers, Monday. So I'm still watching OLLI. Now, it is a slower mover at 3.4%. But the specialty retail traders are a hot sector. So I do like it, and I like where it sits here, because if it breaks out here, there's not a ton of overhead resistance that really can slow me down. So I like it. I like OLLI, and it's going to continue to be on my watch list, but I stopped out on it for a hefty loss of $229. It's still not my full share size. I still didn't lose my max share size of $300 on this. So it was a very small loss considering that it's only 2/3 of my risk, okay? So those were my 2 losses today. Let's take a look at the trades that I'm in. I took CORZ. We're up about $150 on this trade. You can see on the daily, here's the downtrend. I took it as it came up through there. We had a few other traders take this too. You can see right here as it's breaking out. It looks a little different here, but as it broke out through there, I took the trade right here at $10.01. You can see that's my average right here, and it broke up much higher and it pulled back. And look, it's creating a flag on top of the flag. So an intraday flag inside of this flag, and I really, really like to see that. Okay, so it's looking really good. We're up about $150 on this. I have 600 shares of this, so I am full share size in this. And just since we haven't done it in a while, we'll just do it in front of you right now. If I took the trade at $10.01, we do 10.01, and then we subtract the low of the day, because that's what I was using. The low of the day is 965. So then we just hit minus 9.65. That equals 36 cents. And then we multiply that 36 cents by how many shares we have. So we multiply that by 600, and you'll see my risk is $216. So I'm still not full share size in this. I still can add into this trade if I wanted to. I most likely will not though, okay? So I'm still not up to my full 1 account risk, but I'm working my way up there. Obviously, getting a few other trades in here as well. I'm just kind of playing around for a little bit. So I like the breakout, but it's no NNE, right? NNE, that was the A++ setup, okay? Ooh, Dan Bob Dan just said Oliver Kell just reached out to you on Twitter, or didn't reach out but responded to you or spoke to you. That's very awesome, man. I love the fact that you got that going on, and also you're broadcasting our lives on there. So that's awesome that he chatted with you. Another one that I took was CLS. We're up about $116 on this trade. If we look at the daily right here, guys, you can see a downtrend. Absolutely beautiful when it broke out, and I took this trade. This is something I did not take on volume, but there's a reason why I took this and I didn't take it on volume. Now, I've seen some volume coming in, of course, but I decided to take this right in this area because it was breaking previous highs. And also, what I liked about this trade is if we go into the fundamentals of CLS, you can see here, if we just skim over them, you can see this plot bubble where they're constantly making more money. And if we look at these financials, look at these right here, like as it constantly is going higher, Q3, Q4, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q1. We're constantly adding to our revenue growth. You can see the total revenue, 1.8, 2.5, 1.8, 1.9. It's constantly going higher every Q. So we want to compare Q1 to Q1. So we have 1.84 in 2023. We have 2.20 billion in Q1 of 2024. Okay, if you look at the gross profit, you can see we're slowly growing in the gross profit as well. Operating income, you can see we are slowly growing. And the net income, you can see we are slowly growing in that too. You can see it down here on this income statement. That's why I love TraderView. And if you guys don't have it already, you need to take TradingView. You can definitely find it in my resources or in the chat. But use my affiliate link. It helps us out a lot if you use that affiliate link. But you guys get it for absolutely $0. So if you haven't done it already, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Do it. It's in the description as well if you're listening to it a later time. So look at the annual. You can see this orange. It's constantly going up. The net profit margins have gone up 1% each year. 1.84, 2%, 3%. So it's going up very quickly. So instead of just taking this trade specifically because it's on volume and it's breaking a trend line, I decided to also take this on a fundamental push as well. It is also a 4.5% mover. And of course, if we look at this as the RS, I can assure you it's a 98 RS rating. So multiple reasons why I took this, not just because of the volume. So I really like CLS. What did Muley say? My Corz price is 10.06. So let's go back and look at Corz. 10.06. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Ooh, I still got a better price than you. Muley, I'm only kidding, but I like that. I like where you took it because look at this right here, is right where you took it. So right when it started to break out of this area. So I really like that. I like your take. I took it just above previous day's high and got into it there. So I like your take and I'm glad you're in it. Awesome. I just hope you have a game plan. Where is your stop? Hopefully, your stop is previous low. If this thing moves 10.7%, if we take the percentage of this and we check that low, 3.6% is a third of the average daily range for the day. So we have a really, really good risk tolerance if we use that low of the day. And then, of course, we're going to take profit. I'm going to take profit when we reach this all-time high. When we make a new all-time high, I'll probably take 1/3 out and let the rest ride until it breaks a 10-day moving average. That's my strategy. That's my process. And you guys know my process, so I will stick with it, okay? So keep that in mind. Just back to CLS, we're up 116 bucks. I really like what it's doing here in the after hours. Obviously, that's not priced in. 58.94. If this thing just gets to ripping tomorrow, you aren't going to hear me complaining, that's for sure, because I have quite a few shares of this. Let me see what, so 56 to 58.28, 765, so 678, it's 28 times 300, so 2.8 times 300 is, no, that's not right, sorry. Let's see, let me do the math here, guys. If we use low, 56.84, 57.58, 2, that'd be $1.60, $1.60 times 300. All right, I'm just gonna have to do it the right way. 528, $5.28. You can tell I'm not the smartest. I always gotta use a calculator or I will mess myself up. And then we use the low of 56.95, so minus, son of a bitch, I can't believe I'm doing this on air right now. All right, 58.28 minus 56.95, 56.95. Thank you for bearing with me here. That's $1.33, and we multiply that by the 300, and then we get 399. So I'm risking a little over 1% on my account right now. This is a $400 risk on this trade. So I'm really excited to see if this thing can continue higher. Okay, I'm risking a little more than 1%. Okay, I'd love to see CLS take off higher. There's multiple reasons why I'm in this. So we'll see. We'll see if it works out. If not, and it stops me out, that's part of the process. I'm willing to take a loss, guys. It's no big deal. So I don't know if you guys have anything or if you want me to go over anything. My watch list pretty much is the same. We can run through it really quick. We have CORZ. We're already in it. If you're not in it, you've missed the play. CLS, we just went over it. FLYE, we're waiting for it to see if it wants to tighten up. ENVX is now back down to its 10-day moving average. I think this needs quite a few more days, if not a week. I'm already in Cava. That's one thing I didn't go over. I'm still in Cava. I'm pretty much break even. We're sitting at 22.58 on the downside to this, so no big deal. Just right at that breakout area. COHR, a slower mover, but I'm expecting COHR to break out of that $75 area, so that's on my watch list. AGIO kind of broke down today. MDGL is still trading within its range. SMLR, it's everything that I've had on my watch list, guys. I'm just continuing to watch it. NEXT, this one's getting very close to that base breakout at that 825, 850 area, so keep a close eye on that. PLTR tried to break out today, then pulled right back down. So it's all the same tickers we've been watching, and no worries. We are definitely going to do an even deeper dive on Sunday when it comes to all of these, when we bring out that watch list. So hang in there, guys. We got another half a day tomorrow, and then we will be here for Friday's market, and then we have the weekend. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope you have an awesome night. And if you guys have any more questions?
I do.
Sure.
So Oliver Kell was just talking about, this kind of goes to Awesome Art's earlier question about how NVIDIA is starting to lose momentum and AMD is now starting to come into play. Can we look at AMD real quick?
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm sorry, Dan, what was your question?
I didn't go into real deep of why he thought AMD was in play. I just wanted you to look at it, see what you
Okay,
thought
so
of
he
it.
said AMD is in play. So
Not
I
in
think
play, but probably get in play.
okay. So AMD is a lagger first and foremost. okay? So you need to understand AMD is lagging NVIDIA. NVIDIA has reached those new all-time highs, and it had a bit of a pullback. Now, do keep in mind, AMD is a very good company. Like, if we look at the financials of AMD, if I remember looking at this before, it does very well. You can see the revenue continues higher. They're doing very well quarterly and annually. But what you have to understand with AMD, regardless, it is a lagger. Why is he saying it's in play? Well, his reasons might be different from mine, but if we look at this downtrend, you can see that it's on volume and it's trying to break out here. So it's not necessarily considered in play, but it might be on his watch list, because if it breaks this downtrend here, we have room to go up. Just keep in mind, we have overhead resistance. We have resistance here at the 172.65, resistance at 180, we have resistance at 182, and then our last area of resistance is going to be right around 190, and then of course the all-time, close to all-time highs of that 213. So those are my areas on AMD. So he's saying, I don't think he means like it's in play, like you guys need to play this. I think he means it's in play,
No.
like it's on his watch list. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
that's
good.
what he said.
Yeah, and that would make sense. That would make sense for me for it to be on my watch list, just like a lot of the semiconductors. SMCI, you can see here's the daily downtrend, a nice breakout, and then it's coming back down here to retest that area, right? And now it's retesting that downtrend to see if it's going to find support down here right at that psychological $800 area. If we look at MU, the last I checked, it had a big pullback because of its earnings. It had a big pullback, but where did it land? Right here on its area of support. So this, to me, is in play if it can find an area where we have a downtrend and a push higher, but I'd still rather give it more time. If we look at AMSR, is it? AMCR? No, let me look it up. I have it on my watch list on here.
It's ASMR.
ASMR. My boy. Oh, no, it's not. AMSR, maybe? ARSM? No.
Yeah, it's a play.
It's something like that.
Hold on, I'll go look it up.
I know, right? I know it's on my watch list. Now we
You're
got to
talking
find
the
it.
semiconductor, right?
Yep, the American Semiconductor.
Yeah. It's said by mutual fund. Let's dig it up real quick.
Okay. Take your time. Oh, I was just looking at this today too. Got a huge list here. Looking. You know I'm flipping looking. It's not.
Are you talking about
what?
AMSC?
AMSC.
American Conductor?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. AMSC. That's it. Where is it on my watch list? There it is. Oh, yeah, right here. Look at it's like 10th up. AMSC. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about, man. See, we all know. Now, if you guys look at this is another one that's in play too. Why? Well, it's holding that 21-day moving average. It's formed a nice trend line to the downside. And if it breaks out above this might be in play as well. So it's on my watch list. It should be on yours. It's looking really, really good. Look at this big
ASML is what I was thinking of.
AMSL?
ASML, yeah.
ASML. What is ASML? Oh, see, is that another semiconductor?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Here's another trend line. Look at this. Another trend line. You know, they're all in play because it's a hot sector. They're all setting up, but why are they setting up? Why are they all look similar on their setups? Look at NVDA. Look at NVDA. I drew it out for you. It's the leader, folks. If this sets up and it takes off, guess what? The semiconductors are going to go higher too. That's how it is. And William O'Neill teaches in his Bible, or his book, however you want to see it, that you want to be in the leaders, not the laggers. All right, so just keep that in mind, guys. I mean, you can play any which stock that you want to. This moves 4.2%. It is a leader, and if you want to be a part of the leaders, NVDA is your leader. It's not just a leader in the area, but it's also one of the leaders in the overall market. You can see right here, it's up there with Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta. You know, it's bigger, it's badder, it's bigger than Amazon. You know, this thing's a beast. Just this year, it turned into a multi-trillion-dollar company. So you gotta love it. You gotta love it. $3.8 trillion market cap. Beautiful, beautiful chart. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap that thing up there. Do you guys have any questions for me, though, before we go? I know this is a little different today because we kind of just chatted a little bit about everything, but, you know, I like the questions. You know, I like the questions because if we do the same things in and out each day, you know, I don't feel like we're going to learn nearly as much if we start articulating things a little bit, because you guys are getting the general idea of those base and trend breakouts. So I hope you guys are learning quite a bit. And of course, if you guys need any questions or any help, and you know, you don't do it here, you can do it in the general chat. We have plenty of other profitable traders out there, like Covey, like Danny. There's a few other ones that are out there that are willing to help, willing to articulate their thoughts and feelings as well. And then, of course, you know, like I told Awesome Art earlier, even if you just use us to write out your process and your plan, and we're there to hold you to it, you know, just like anybody on weight loss. You know, I plan on not eating like shit, you know, and I'm saying that from my own personal experience because I just talked to the wife. I'm disciplined. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't chew. I'm a straight edge, right? I don't do any drugs, and I'm healthy. I work out, but my biggest issue is food. My biggest issue is food. I love to pig out on shitty foods, and I want to be more disciplined in my life, because more discipline in your life is more discipline in trading. That's just how I am, and that's how I want to be anyway. So that's my next focus. So even if you're using this to keep yourself disciplined, make sure you guys do it, okay? So I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thank you so much. And I'm going to get this uploaded. I hope you guys have a good night.